of the three conclaves of East African heads of state and the subsequent 22nd Ordinary Summit of the EAC. Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, as the facilitator, together with yourselves, we have convened this Nairobi 3 to achieve the following objectives: to identify firstly the political process and institutional reforms necessary to create an environment conducive for the disarmament of armed groups at regional, national, and provincial level. Secondly, to consolidate support and active participation of communities in the disarmament, demobilization, reintegration, and community stabilization program, and address the political and institutional requirements for reintegration of armed groups and communities. To also deepen the consultation of communities and armed groups from the concerned areas for the greater inclusivity and greater ownership of the process, including for the first time with representatives from Mariana and Tanganyika, and the identification of root causes of conflicts in the 5 provinces, and finally, to evaluate the concrete modalities for the restoration of state authority in each province necessary to accompany the PDDRCs, amongst other issues. So, ladies and gentlemen, the participation of all the invited groups at this consultative forum gives me much hope that all the objectives will be realized, and we believe that at the end of this process, we will be able to see increased coordination and coherence of the Nairobi process with the PDDRCs, the armed groups that are yet to cease hostilities, to honor their commitments, to cease armed activities, and to grant unhindered humanitarian access, and the full deployment and operationalization of the East African Regional Force. So as I conclude, ladies and gentlemen, I want to urge all participants to this process, including those who are not yet here on the table with us, to give their support to this process that is vital towards the restoration of peace and stability in the Eastern DRC. And I look forward to opportunities that will enable the region to continue working closely to enhance and strengthen the bonds of purposeful friendship and strategic cooperation for the mutual benefit of all the citizens of East Africa. Wenzangu wa Kongo, unajua hii sio mara ya kwanza tukutane, tumekutana. Na nimewaambia sana sana, hata vile tuliongea wakati tulikuwa Kinshasa. Na fadha unakumbuka ya kwamba amani ipatikane, haitapatikana kutoka wengine, itatokana kwenu nyinyi wenyewe. Nyinyi wenyewe mkubali ya kwamba nchi ni yenu na mnaitakia amani, na mnataka sasa majembe, vyombo vya kujenga manyumba, muweze kuhakikisha ya kwamba utajiri wa Kongo ni wa kuwasaidia, sio wa kumwaga damu zenu. Na nyinyi mjue hakuna mwingine ana huo uwezo wa kuleta amani ya kudumu isipokuwa nyinyi wenyewe. Yetu ni kuwasaidia, yetu ni kuwashika mkono, yetu ni kuwaombea, lakini jukumu kubwa itakuwa nyinyi wenyewe kama Wakongo, mkishaamua ya kwamba mtaishi pamoja kwa amani, kwa manufaa yenu na vizazi ambavyo bado vitakuja. Mungu awabariki, Mungu awaongoze, tutakuwa pamoja mpaka siku ya mwisho ya huu mkutano. Asanteni sana.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency, again for the powerful words. that you've given to this congregation. Your Excellencies, we have Dr. Tax, and I want to confirm she's supposed to make remarks on behalf of Her Excellency, Mama Samia Suluhu Hassan. So please, if you can project so that we can receive the message from Her Excellency, Mama Samia Suluhu Hassan. Communication team, are you ready? We are waiting for the remarks from Her Excellency Mama Samia Suluhu Hassan to be done by Dr. Tax, Minister for Foreign Affairs and East African Community Affairs, United Republic of Tanzania. Please proceed. Dr. Tax, can you hear? Yes. Okay. They're trying to reconnect, but Your Excellencies, as we wait for the connection, and the protocols notwithstanding, you'll allow Your Excellencies we proceed with President Paul Kagame, who is actually watching on the line. So that is okay. Your Excellency, President Paul Kagame, please proceed, Your Excellency.
His Excellency, President William Ruto, thanks for your invitation to participate in this meeting. His Excellency President Evariste Ndayishimiye, Chair of the East African Community, Excellencies, Heads of State, greetings from Kigali. I wish to start by thanking the leaders of our East African community for your commitment and efforts in finding a solution for this challenging security and other situations in our region. Let me take this opportunity to thank the chairperson of the East African Community, President Evariste Ndayishimiye, as well as the chairperson of the ICGLR and the AU mediator, President João Lourenço. And I would like to express appreciation to President William Ruto and the East African facilitator, former President Kenyatta, for dedicating sufficient time and energy to this problem, which has a complicated and long history, but is nonetheless solvable. For all almost 3 decades now, the problem of insecurity and instability in Eastern DRC has festered and remained unresolved. This situation has negatively impacted our region, including the issue of hundreds of thousands of Congolese refugees who are unable to safely return to their homes, as well as impeding trade and investment with negative implications to the whole region. The primary reason for this persistent crisis is the failure to implement the many agreements that have been reached at various levels and at different times in past years. I most sincerely believe that this time around, these efforts are going to bear good results. The recent resurgence of one armed group among many others has received a lot of attention globally, and this comes on top of other unresolved security and political challenges. We therefore welcome the region's swift response and the robust mechanisms being established to save lives in Eastern DRC and address the dangerous escalations that threaten neighboring countries, including Rwanda. What is needed today more than ever is a steady political will to implement the ongoing regional initiatives, particularly the East African community-led Nairobi peace process and the African Union mediation by President Lorenzo of Angola. This should include seriously addressing the root causes of insecurity once and for all, which will make a real difference in resolving the security concerns of DRC and the neighboring countries. The current framework that the leaders of the region have established and the decisions taken at the last week's summit in Rwanda are a real opportunity to find a durable solution. It is therefore in the interest of all of us to stay the situation be a perennial problem. On this, you can count on Rwanda's full support toward a lasting and permanent solution. Your Excellencies, distinguished delegates participating in this meeting, I thank you for your kind attention.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency, again for the words of wisdom and words that promote this process. It's my pleasure, Your Excellencies, to invite His Excellency Felix Tshisekedi, who is on the line. Your Excellency, please, most welcome to give your remarks. Communication team, please, if you can facilitate remarks of His Excellency Felix Tshisekedi. As we await His Excellency President Tshisekedi, His Excellency President Yoweri Museveni is also on the line. And you pardon because of the protocols kindly. He has requested that he's going for the next appointment if he can be allowed to make his remarks. If you can facilitate remarks by His Excellency President Yoweri Museveni of the Republic of Uganda. Your Excellency, most welcome. Your Excellency, President Yoweri Museveni, please proceed with your remarks.
Je peux continuer?
Yeah, please, Your Excellency, most welcome. Your Excellency, President Felix Tshisekedi of DR Congo. Your Excellency, most welcome. Karibu sana.
Je peux continuer? Donc je disais, mesdames et messieurs, permettez-moi avant toute chose de m'acquitter d'un agréable devoir, celui de remercier au nom de tout le peuple congolais et en mon nom personnel, le président Évariste Ndayishimiye, président de la République du Burundi et président en exercice de la communauté d'Afrique de l'Est qui, en dépit d'un agenda contraignant, a tenu à lancer personnellement cette troisième phase des consultations politiques avec les différents groupes armés opérant dans la partie est de la République démocratique du Congo et qui connaît également la participation de la société civile des provinces congolaises de l'Ituri, du Maniema, du Nord Kivu, du Sud Kivu ainsi que de la province du Tanganyika. Je remercie également mon frère, le président William Ruto de la République du Kenya, pour cet honneur qu'il fait à mon peuple et cet attachement qu'il nous manifeste d'accepter de nous recevoir dans son pays pour ces pourparlers avec les différents groupes armés que certains d'entre vous représentez. Je salue et remercie mon frère, le président honoraire Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, facilitateur désigné par la communauté d'Afrique de l'Est au processus de Nairobi, dont l'engagement et la détermination depuis le départ à conduire ce processus laborieux jusqu'à son terme, je le reconnais volontiers, sont manifestes. Enfin, mes remerciements s'adressent à la MONUSCO, dont la représentante, Madame Bintou Keïta, est sur place pour son appui logistique et technique qu'elle apporte depuis le début de ce processus. À vous, chers compatriotes, les troisièmes consultations politiques du processus de Nairobi qui s'ouvrent aujourd'hui avec environ 200 participants, représentant les groupes armés et la société civile des provinces de l'Est de notre pays, constitue une nouvelle opportunité que je vous invite à saisir pour vous investir chacun à son niveau dans la restauration de la paix et construire notre bien-être collectif. Cette troisième phase des consultations constitue également une bifurcation où vous devez faire un choix entre deux types d'avenir pour les filles et les fils de notre pays, un avenir ravagé par les violences communautaires, les conflits armés interethniques et les attaques armées contre nos propres communautés, un avenir où nos enfants vont enfin pouvoir vivre et s'épanouir dans un État moderne où le travail, la justice, l'abondance de nos richesses du sol et du sous-sol, la quiétude, la tolérance et la joie de vivre seront au quotidien. L'endroit pour faire ce choix, c'est ici, et le moment est maintenant. Ici et maintenant,
Here and now,
nous devons
we have
agir
to-
avec rapidité et
we have
synergie
to act
pour
quickly
sortir les provinces de
to get
l'Ituri,
out
du
our
Maniema,
Ituri,
du
Maniema,
Nord,
North Kivu
du
and
Kivu,
South Kivu out of this,
du Tanganyika,
Tanganyika as
de
well,
ce que j'appelle
what I
ce
call
naufrage.
this wreckage.
Ici et maintenant,
Here and now,
nous devons
we
définitivement
have to,
faire
for
des
once and
efforts
for good,
pour donner
to make efforts
la chance
to give
à
chances
notre désir
to
commun
our
de
common
reconstruire
desire
ensemble
to rebuild together
notre pays.
our country.
En d'autres termes,
In other words,
ces consultations ont
these
pour
consultations,
à la suite
have as
de
objectives
votre engagement
following the engagement that you
une
have,
feuille de route
to
pour
build
formaliser
a
la
roadmap
cessation
to
définitive
formalize
des
the
hostilités
cessation of all the hostility.
et d'intégrer
There's a sound that is
le
bothering me.
programme de désarmement, démobilisation et réinsertion communautaire pour la stabilisation, le
what we call
PDDR-CS.
the PDDRCS.
J'espère que
I
vous
hope that
ferez
you
honneur
will
tant aux
give
illustres
us
personnalités
honor,
engagées à nous accompagner
because you have all these
qu'à notre peuple
august
vous engageant
personalities
et en
that have
donnant
been
suite
committed to this
à notre
process,
demande commune
and then
de
accepting
rejoindre
this
la mère
common
patrie
the
qui, par sa
request
voix,
that we had to join the East
exhorte
African community.
à renoncer
So we
définitivement
really
aux
urge you
activités
to renounce
subversives
all these
et
subversive
criminelles.
activities that you're having.
Chers compatriotes,
Dear compatriots, dear fellow
mesdames et
citizens,
messieurs,
ladies and gentlemen,
le 27 avril
April
2022,
27,
je prenais
2022,
la parole
I
aux
took
côtés
the floor
du président Uhuru
next
Muigai
to the
Kenyatta
President Uhuru Kenyatta of
pour
Kenya
m'adresser à vous
to address you
lors de la clôture de la deuxième phase
on
des
the
consultations
closing ceremony
que j'avais
of the
initiées
second
dans
consultations
le cadre du volet politique du processus
as part of
de
the
Nairobi.
political component of the Nairobi
À
process.
l'occasion, suivant les conclusions me transmises
Following the
par mes
conclusions
représentants
that was given to
que
me by
j'avais
my
mandatés
special
pour vous
envoy
rencontrer,
that
je
met you,
saluais votre bonne
I really
disposition à
condemned-
vous mettre finalement
commend
en ordre
your
avec la
availability
patrie.
to get into the fold.
Je vous y encourageais
I encourage
et vous
you
exhortais
and I
à
urge
tenir
you
cet engagement.
to keep this promise,
En même temps,
this commitment.
Je vous
At the same
garantissais
time, I
de
guaranteed
la
you
protection
of
de
the
l'État
protections of the state,
tant que vous
Congolese
tiendriez
states, as long
cet
as
engagement.
you kept your promise, your
Ce
commitment.
jour,
That day,
je réitère mon engagement
today, I'm
à vous
still
accompagner dans le
reaffirming
processus de
my
votre
commitment to
désarmement
support you
et de
with
votre
this process of
démobilisation.
disarmament and demobilization.
J'encourage par cette
I
même
urge
occasion ceux qui hésitent
also
encore à
people
rejoindre
that are
ce
still
processus de
hesitating
paix
to get into this peace
devenu
process
irréversible.
to come and then join
Comme vous le
us.
savez,
As you know,
la recrudescence de la
the
violence et de
resurgence of violence and
l'insécurité
insecurity,
alimentée par les
which
conflits
is
armés
fed by
persistants dans les
the
provinces
persistent
de
armed
l'Ituri,
conflict in
du
Ituri,
Nord
in North
du
Kivu,
Sud
in
Kivu,
South
du
Kivu,
Maniema et
in
du
Maniama, and also in Tanganyika
a
province,
sérieusement
has
affecté les
seriously
efforts
affected
de
the efforts,
développement
the development efforts
avec
that have
comme
been made,
conséquence
with as
la
consequences
détérioration
the
de la
deteriorations
qualité de vie
of the quality
nos
of
populations.
life of our
le
populations.
drame humanitaire
This
ainsi que
insecurity,
la destruction du tissu
but also
économique et des
the destruction
infrastructures de
of the economy of all these
aussi,
communities in
souvenez-vous,
these provinces. Also, you have to remember
de combien de dialogues,
that how many
de
dialogues,
tables rondes,
how many
de conférences nationales
conferences, national
nous
conferences
avons
we have had,
organisées.
we have organized,
Combien d'accords
how many
n'avons-nous
agreements
pas signés?
we have signed, we signed in the past,
Combien de trahisons,
how many betrayals
d'inconscience communautaire,
of
de
community
barbarie, de tueries,
unawareness,
de
of
massacres
killings, of massacres
n'avons-nous pas
we have been
assisté?
through.
Combien
How
de
many
rébellions,
rebellions,
combien de mouvements politiques
how many
militaires,
political and military movements, the armed
ont-ils
groups,
été créés en République
activities,
démocratique
armed groups
du
have
Congo?
been created in Congo.
Combien
How
de
many
nos enfants
of
ne
our
sont-ils
children
pas morts
have been
Combien
killed?
de femmes
How many
ont-elles
women
été violées?
have been raped in the process?
Combien de veuves
How many
et
widows?
d'orphelins
How many
notre
widowers?
pays ne
How many
compte-t-il
orphans
pas
we've seen
depuis le début
since
de ce cycle
the start
de violence
of this
et de
cycle
création
of violence
des groupes armés?
and then insecurity and activism
Comme
of armed
beaucoup
groups?
d'entre vous,
As many of
nous
you,
risquons de passer la vie à chercher à répondre
we have tried
toutes
on
ces
and on
questions
to
sans
tackle
parvenir
all these questions, but so far we
obtenir
haven't
de réponses
met. We
Par
haven't had
contre, une
solutions
chose est
that are
certaine,
durable. But what is
les
sure
motivations
is that the
qui ont
motivation
commandé
that
nos actions,
was at the basis of these
certaines pour
actions,
des raisons d'autodéfense,
some because they were defending their own communities
d'autoprotection,
or they were just protecting
ne se
themselves,
justifient plus.
is no longer
Notre
there.
certitude, nous tous ici présents,
All of us
du
here,
moins je l'espère,
and I hope
du
so,
plus profond de moi-même,
deep into my heart,
avons assez
that we fed
de
up
voir la partie
to
est de
see
notre
the
pays
eastern part of the
en
DRC
crise permanente
be in permanent
et récurrente.
crisis, in recurrent crisis.
Les Congolais de l'intérieur, comme
Congolese
ceux
from
qui
the
vivent
mainland,
dans les pays amis,
and then also
fatigués
Congolese
de
from
la
the
guerre.
diaspora, they're fed up of
tous
war.
nos amis dans le monde
All the friends we
en
have
ont
around the
également
country
assez
are also
de
fed
nous
up
voir continuer
to
de
see
livrer
this
cette si
activism,
peu glorieuse
this insecurity,
image de notre pays.
and then which is like
Cependant, dans le cadre de
threatening
ma
the
vision
image of our
politique
country.
de pacifier
However,
le pays,
as part
et
of
de le
these
développer.
pacification efforts and to develop
les
also
réformes
our
profondes
country,
sont engagées
reforms have been
dans
started,
le pôle de
whether
développement de nos
it is
territoires que pour la
with
sécurité
regard
et
to
le
the development,
bien-être de
but
tous.
also with regard to the security and the well-being of everybody. So what we have to do is to find appropriate solutions and then come up with durable motivation and solutions to end all this. Not only the government has a program of our 145 territories to develop those territories, also to help communities develop and to reduce social inequalities. So we also trying to taking care of our youth. So as part of the reform, of the security sector reform, we trying to build the capacity that will allow our FARDC, our armed forces, to have all the citizens of our communities join them. We also finally created conditions to strengthen the DDRCS program. That is part of a global strategy of community recovery, stabilization, but also to prevent conflict, but also to have people be responsible, be accountable at the provincial, national level. We've also the appointment of coordinators at the provincial level. So I really urge you to join the PDDRCS, which contrary to the other programs of DDR you have, there's like a disarmament approach, demobilization approach, the demobilization, but also to lay the emphasis on the community recovery aspect, whereby the reinsertion of ex-combatants will be done in a logic of social cohesion within the communities, but not within the armed forces of the DRC. So it is time for all of us to get rid of these odious activities and then commit ourselves towards this road to developing our country. Nobody else will do that for us. Nobody can stifle that. The current situation that has been provoked by the M23 rebel group, which is wreaking havoc in the eastern part, and then trying to sabotage these efforts of peace, will not at all affect this process, not also the commitment, the patriotic commitment of our children, the girls and boys, the women and men of our country. We will not be blackmailed. We will refuse that. So we will refuse these people who would like to get into this road that has been sabotaging our peace process. So I refer to the last communique, the communique of the mini summit in Luanda that urged the M23 for the cessation of all their activities and then to return to their initial positions and then also join the PDDRCS. It is only with these only conditions that the M23 will get into these consultations are part of Nairobi 3, the third cycle of Nairobi, as all the other groups. Dear fellow countrymen, I reaffirm you my commitment to peace, but also to support you so that we have durable peace in our country. May God bless the DRC. Thank you very much. Thank you. My best. This is not easy.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency, again for the words of encouragement to the process.
I'm not an interpreter.
Now, Your Excellencies, allow me listening remarks from His Excellency President Yoweri Museveni of the Republic of Uganda. Your Excellency, most welcome.
You can hold me.
Your Excellency, President Evariste Ndayishimiye, the President of the Republic of Burundi, and our chairperson, His Excellency William Ruto, the President of Kenya, our facilitator, His Excellency Uhuru Kenyatta, Your Excellencies, the heads of state, His Excellency Paul Kagame of Rwanda, His Excellency Tshisekedi Felix of the Democratic Republic of Congo, and all the other distinguished persons. The main problem are the illegal guns in Congo. These illegal guns have been there almost continuously since Congo's independence. And the illegal guns are in two categories. Category one are the illegal guns held by foreign armed groups from other countries. These are the ADF of Uganda, Inter-Congolese of Rwanda, Red Tabara of Burundi. In the past, there used to be UNITA of Angola and FNL of Holding Rabato of Angola. That's one category of the armed groups in Congo. All these years, killing the Congolese and also disturbing neighbors. The second category are the internal Congolese groups, such as Codeco, the one of the Lendu, M23, Mai Mai, etc., etc. These groups can easily be defeated if we harmonize. These groups can easily be defeated if we harmonize. The operation which is going on, which has been going on for almost a year now, conducted by the Congolese army and the Uganda army in the three sectors of North Kivu and Ituri, show what can be. This operation has shown that we have the capacity to deal with these groups in spite of the difficult terrain, the forest and so on. We can deal with these groups. If the Congo government agrees, they can invite visitors and they visit that sector, those sectors where we are operating with the Congo Army, and see what can be achieved. The internal groups of Congo came from the weakening of the state authority in that area for a prolonged period. But these ones also, in my opinion and our experience, can be handled by combining the political methods, i.e. dialogue, with the military method. If there is any group that is adamant and doesn't want peace, I think these groups can easily be dealt with by combining the political and, if necessary, the military. The political means starts with the dialogue. The dialogue should be preceded by a ceasefire where there is active fighting and disengagement of forces. The peaceful solution should be the outcome of the dialogue. Also, the victim communities and the refugees should also be consulted. These people have been, their areas have been occupied by terrorists for all this time. These Congolese communities are the same like the communities of Uganda. They are the same groups, same tribes. The Wakonjo, Banande of Uganda and Congo, the Bahema, Banyoro of Uganda and Congo, the Arus of Congo, Uganda, the Rugubaras of Congo, Uganda, the Kakwas of Congo, Uganda, the ones of Bamba, the ones from Wataringa of Congo, Uganda, the Banyarwanda speaking people of Congo, Uganda, the groups on the Burundi border. These are the same people. We know them. It's not that we don't know what's happening. We know one another. So those people have been suffering, and they should be consulted. Like those dialogue going on. I don't know whether you have called the victim communities and the refugees, because their land has been occupied by these terrorists for all this time. This is not fair. Here in Uganda, we have got 480,000 refugees. Uganda now is the richest country in refugees in Africa. We have got 1.6 million refugees in Africa here.
Sorry, we have lost Your Excellency. If the technical team can facilitate His Excellency President Yoweri Museveni to finalize his remarks. I know he's on transit. Could be. As we facilitate His Excellency President Yoweri Museveni to finalize his remarks, Your Excellencies, I urge that we proceed with the United Republic of Tanzania as we await, as we try to connect. I'm told Mzee they're on transit somewhere, so there could be connectivity issues. The people on the We have lost His Excellency President Yoweri Museveni, and in that case, then as we facilitate so that he can come and urge him to come and finalize, Your Excellencies, allow me to invite Dr. Tax Tegomena to give remarks on behalf of Her Excellency Mama Samia Suluhu Hassan. Your Excellency Dr. Tax Tegomena, can you hear us?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
We can hear you, Your Excellency. Please proceed.
Hello?
We can hear you clearly. Proceed.
SG, am I heard?
Yes, you are audible. We can hear you. Proceed. Please proceed.
Hello?
We can hear you, Your Excellency. Please proceed.
Thank you. Your Excellency, the Chairperson of the EAC, Your Excellencies, Heads of State and Government, Your Excellency, the Facilitator, Representatives from the United Nations and the Africa. I was given to speak earlier, but I would not have done so before my principals have done that, and I appreciate for being given this opportunity. May I begin by conveying regards from my President, Her Excellency Samia Suluhu Hassan, who would have wished to attend in person, but due to other equally important and pressing matters, she could not attend in person, and she has sent me to represent her. A lot has already been said, and Tanzania supports what has been said, in particular, making sure that we support the ongoing process in the DRC, the regional process, but also the African Union process. We remain committed as Tanzania to make sure that we contribute as we are required, but also to ensure that we bring about sustainable peace, but also durable peace. I don't have much to say because I'll be repeating what has already been said. It's just to convey my present regards, but also the apology. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We appreciate remarks from Her Excellency Mama Samia Suluhu Hassan for her commitment to the process and committing United Republic of Tanzania into the process. Your Excellency, again, with the technology as we try to have Mzee come back, allow me, Your Excellencies, now, with a lot of respect and honor, to invite His Excellency Dr. William Samoei Ruto, President of the Republic of Kenya, and the host of this very important event. Your Excellency, over to you.
Your Excellency, President Evariste Ndayishimiye, President of the Republic of Burundi and Chair of the East African Community, President Felix Tshisekedi, President of the Democratic Republic of Congo, President Paul Kagame, President of the Republic of Rwanda, President Yoweri Museveni, President of the Republic of Uganda, Your Excellency Uhuru Kenyatta, facilitator of the Nairobi process and former President of the Republic of Kenya, representative of the United Nations present, the AU present, all other distinguished participants, distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the Republic of Kenya, it's my honor to address you this morning, and also that of the government of Kenya and the people of Kenya as we host this third Inter-Congolese dialogue. I welcome and commend all the participants for attending this very critical meeting that presents an opportunity to seize history and turn the tide towards seeking a lasting solution for the challenges we have in our region. I am encouraged by the progress made so far in facilitating dialogue, negotiations, and the peaceful resolution of conflict in our brotherly neighbor and brotherly country, the Democratic Republic of Congo. This effort and the promising start is significant due to the support and dedication of the chairperson of the East African Community, His Excellency Evariste Ndayishimiye, President of the Republic of Burundi, towards the restoration of peace and stability in Eastern DRC. It is important that we also appreciate with gratitude the role played by His Excellency Uhuru Kenyatta as he continues to play the role as chief facilitator of the Nairobi process. Mr. President, I salute your credentials as you champion peace in our region, and in particular with regards to the Inter-Congolese consultative framework. These shared values of the foundation of the East African Community also anchor the strong bonds of connecting the nations and people of our greater community. It is self-evident fact that our region is united by a common yearning for peace, hope for unity, quest for opportunity, and desire for shared prosperity. The people of Kenya are deeply invested in the destiny of our brothers and sisters throughout this region, and as a government, it is our duty to actualize their aspirations by participating in frameworks that enhance our collective prospects of peace, security, social, and economic. Kenya commits to you, the President Felix Tshisekedi, for your sustained dedication and commitment to peace and the determined effort in endeavors to find a lasting solution to the security situation in the Eastern DRC. My government assures you, Your Excellency, and the people of the Democratic Republic of Congo, as well as the entire East African region and Africa at large, of Kenya's unwavering support and of our determination to stay this course together until the job is done. Mr. President, you are not alone, and I want you to let our brothers and sisters in the DRC to know that they are not alone. The inescapable tie of geography ties us together in the East Africa like Siamese twins. So long as DRC knows no peace, prospects for prosperity for the rest of EAC and Africa will remain dim and reversible. Instability and insecurity in the DRC will be relentless in undermining human development and holistic progress in and beyond the Great Lakes region. It is not only limiting the potential of our region in terms of trade and investment, but also denigrating the dignity of our people, causing suffering, displacement, and death. In a world of 8 billion people with unrelenting climate change threats, the people of Africa cannot afford to seek help from beyond before exhausting our own proprietary innovative solutions. African solutions are closer at hand given the scope of economic opportunities of 1 billion Africans and vast underexploited physical and human capital. The state of the world behoves us to pull together and pull ahead, the odds notwithstanding. This is why we have taken a decisive position as heads of state of the EAC to do everything possible to find a lasting peaceful solution to this conflict. And I dare say we will not relent. We shall seize every opportunity that comes our way to collaborate in enhancing our capacity of transformative collective action. Towards this end, we shall seek to enhance our bonds of fraternity, purposeful friendship, and strategic cooperation for the mutual benefit of all our people. The security situation in Eastern DRC continues to be a source of great concern. As we welcome the deployment of the East African Community Regional Force, we must recognize that its operational environment remains charged with threats. This demands closer cooperation and greater capacity to collaborate with other regional and international partners to effectively counter the threats that various armed groups and negative elements continue to pose. We are here to emphasize the urgent need for dialogue, de-escalation, and to encourage and facilitate every actor to intensify their pursuit through the effective engagement of regional and international dispute resolution mechanisms. We also encourage regional states to maintain their commitment to existing regional bilateral as well as multilateral understandings. We reiterate the vital importance of utilizing approved frameworks and engaging positively to address all issues, disagreements, misunderstandings, and concerns in order to sustain and enhance mutual outcomes. For its part, Kenya reiterates its unflinching support for efforts that support diplomatic and necessary military solutions to the effective restoration of sustainable peace and stability in DRC. We emphasize that regional peace and security remains our collective enterprise. Specifically for Kenya, you may wish to know, and I'm telling this to my brothers from the DRC, you may wish to know that my predecessor, President Uhuru Kenyatta here, and myself were on different sides of the political contest 2 months ago. And the competition was stiff. But after the election, I met His Excellency the President. I looked at him in the eye and I told him, Mr. President, you have started a very important process in EAC. I would want you to continue that process. And he told me he was ready to do it. Despite all that had gone on, because of the interests of our nation, because of the interests of our region, because of the interests of our continent, and because peace is important to Kenya, to DRC, to our region, President Kenyatta has done a wonderful job as he facilitates this process, because collectively as a country, we value peace. Kenya is firmly persuaded that our well-being and destinies as peoples and nations of this region are intimately and intensely interconnected. Our security, stability, and progress, therefore, is dependent on that of our region and indeed on the rest of the African continent. Consequently, the pursuit of peace and stability is not only desirable and beneficial, it is the inevitable precondition for socio-economic transformation and shared prosperity. Kenya thanks the East African Community Secretariat and the Africa Union for the commendable efforts made so far towards implementing the decision and directives of the 22nd Ordinary Summit of the EAC Heads of State. I also take this opportunity to strongly reiterate the call for EAC member states, our partners, and other stakeholders to act swiftly on respective commitments that we have been made. I want to thank President Suluhu Hassan, the President of Tanzania, for committing to support this process financially. I also wish to thank President Kagame for also committing to support this process financially. And also President Yoweri Museveni for also committing to support this process financially. There is no greater demonstration of commitment from the EAC than the one that I have seen from the various heads of state of our region. Yesterday, when we met with the chair of our EAC, we decided to call all the other colleagues in this region, and all of them have set aside their schedules to be able to attend this meeting, even if virtually. It demonstrates the political goodwill that we have mobilized for the sake of peace in DRC, because peace in DRC is peace in our region. Peace in our region is peace in every part of our region and continent. For us, as leaders in this region, we take this assignment as an assignment of our lifetime, because our continent is ripe for the huge opportunities. This is the continent of our century, and we cannot afford to lose the opportunity of our lifetime at the altar of conflicts that we can resolve. And it is our commitment, because intra-Africa trade that holds the biggest opportunity for us to trade using the instruments we have already set up in the EAC, in COMESA, in SADC, and in the Africa Continental Free Trade Area. We have the greatest potential and the greatest opportunity to be able to increase trade and investment so that we can raise it from the paltry 13 or 15% at the moment to where other regions in Asia, in Europe, in the Americas are at 60-70%. Ladies and gentlemen, it will be the biggest shame for us if while our brothers and sisters elsewhere in the globe are holding huge conferences in big tents to discuss investment and trade, and they are holding huge conferences in big conference halls to discuss trade and investment, our people are in tents as refugees and displaced persons. It will be an indictment on us, the leaders of this continent, and that is why this assignment is an assignment we must not fail to discharge and to resolve. Kenya joins the rest of the region in affirming its utmost respect for the total sovereignty of the Democratic Republic of Congo and for its territorial integrity. I also reiterate the full expectation that the East African Community Regional Force will support and complement the armed forces of the Democratic Republic of Congo in stabilizing and restoring law and order in Eastern DRC. More critically, I call on the force to collaborate with FADRC in supporting disarmament, demobilization, community recovery, and stabilization program. As I conclude, I reiterate our commitment to support our brave and gallant soldiers who continue to demonstrate their readiness to serve and sacrifice greatly for our countries and our peoples to live in peace, security, and stability. Their role is essential, and our support for them is therefore vital. Kenya has been, remains, and always will be a loyal and dependable partner of the DRC and a faithful member of our region in every mutually beneficial endeavor at all levels. Our determination to succeed remains stronger than ever, and our motivation even keener. God bless you. Thank you very much for listening to me. Asante sana. Na wauliza marafiki zetu wa Kongomani, karibuni Kenya. Mkiwa huku Kenya, mjue mko nyumbani. Na vile Rais Kenyatta aliyenitangulia amewaambia, mazungumzo haya ndio iko na suluhu ya matatizo tuliyoko nayo katika DRC. Vile nimesema, yale matatizo mko nayo sio yenu peke yenu. Ni matatizo ya Kongo, ni matatizo ya East Africa, na ni matatizo yetu sisi zote. Na sote tutaungana ili kuyatatua. Nataka muelewe vile vile, bunduki na risasi haiwezi kulete suluhu kamilifu. Kuongea kama ndugu na dada, kushirikiana, kusikia mwenzako anasema vipi, ndio chanzo na ndio iko na suluhu ya kutatua tatizo ya DRC ambayo ni tatizo letu sisi zote. Nataka niwahakikishie ya kwamba mkiwa hapa Kenya tutakuwa pamoja na nyinyi. Tumesimama kidete na Rais Uhuru Kenyatta kama facilitator wa mazungumzo haya, na serikali ya Kenya tumejitolea na vifaa zote ili kuhakikisha kwamba majadiliano haya, mazungumzo haya yanafaulu kwa manufaa yenu, ya watoto wenu, ya wamama walio mlioacha nyumbani, na kwa manufaa ya jumuiya yetu ya Afrika Mashariki Asanteni sana, na watakia baraka ya Mungu, na mimi naamini ya kwamba mtafaulu. Asanteni sana.
Aya, yaani tumeuza pickup mzima saa hii.
Imeisha. Ai, kila mtu anataka kununua kwako.
Siri ni hii, mimi hupanda na Dhabiti DAP.
Dhabiti Algon Fertilizer is your surest partner in successful farming. Dhabiti is available in various sizes that suit your pocket. Algon Kenya, transforming farms and lives through technology.
He also applies his trade in the United Kingdom. Here is Coach Rigobert Song. They call him Le Meilleur. Today's changed his cap, and it says that's what it's all about. That's what the cap says today. It's not about the danger that he was in last time. It just says today that's what it's all about. Well, yes. Whatever it is, that's what it's all about today. So if he wins, well, that's what it's all about. If he doesn't win, well, that's what it's all about.
Nice and good slogan.
Just getting ready to start the game then, and not very minimal changes with the two sides. This is that game that you always call the crunch game. It's the one that determines whether you're going to have one of the worst records in World Cup history, which Cameroon might have if they lose this game. If they don't win against Serbia, they will tie the record